in that role. And him just looking like curmudgeon-y and impatient, waiting for them to show up at that meal.
Yeah, he was like 4 whiskeys deep, too. Hey, so how about this? Let's take a quick break, and then we come back. We will talk more Days of Thunder. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. John, I just thought of something. We're going to do it. Michael Rooker draft.
Ooh.
Michael Rooker.
Okay.
Michael
All
Rooker
right,
draft.
we're doing 5?
Yep. So I have a 1 or 2. 1 or 2.
2.
Yep. So you get the first pick.
I want. Hold on, I'm scribbling down notes furiously right now, so I have a strategy here. But I'm gonna start Slither. I'm taking Slither.
Ooh, I like that. All right, so you got Slither. Oh my gosh. So right on IMDb, he's making A Good Man Is Hard to Find. That's a Flannery O'Connor short story. That's one of my favorite short stories ever. And when I taught AP English, I used to make my students read it, and it's in pre-pro. He plays the misfit. Oh, that's awesome. It makes me very happy. All right, back to this. Let's see. All right. So many good movies. I am gonna go The Marine 2. No, I'm joking. Oof. Let's do... This is tough. One slip up here and I'm in trouble. It could be all over for me. It could be done. And this guy's made so many movies. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go really weird here. I'm gonna say Henry.
Okay.
Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, because that movie punches me in the face.
That was in my scrambled short list.
All right, what's your second movie?
Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2.
All right, G-O-T.
I wasn't your father, but I was your daddy.
Oh, well, I've already
Remember
lost.
when he goes?
Yeah.
That was like, it took all that, like, character that you like to hate in Part 1 and made sense of it with that heartfelt speech. He's like, I wasn't kidnapping you, I was saving you.
Boy, I wasn't gonna eat you.
He was just too hard to ever let him know that until he was gonna die.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
Great, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
All right, I have to do this because if I don't, you will, which will cost me.
Uh-oh, wait.
Tombstone.
Oh, okay. I wanted that, but that wasn't what I was worried about.
All right, which one are you going to take?
I want the Belko experiment.
All right, Belko.
Which we potted about.
Which we
in
did.
Our office arc. God, that was still in the first 100 episodes, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe the 120-ish.
Yeah, 120-ish. That was when, like after 2017. All right, so I will take JFK.
I'm taking Days of Thunder.
Oh, Days of Thunder.
Taking Days of Thunder.
All right, I'll do Mallrat.
Can I take The Walking Dead?
No.
Go.
That's like if we're doing a Heath Ledger draft and you pick Dark Knight. You know what I mean?
Okay. You know what? I like them as the security guard. I'm taking Undisputed.
Undisputed. Oh, I like that.
Part 1, before Boyka and Scotty Atz took over.
Scotty Atz! That dude's awesome. All right, he's in Jumper. I love that. I remember that. Can
you repeat the full picks? Because I want to hear yours, like, all together.
So you have Slither, Guardians 2, Belko, Days of Thunder, Undisputed. I have Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, Tombstone, JFK, Mallrats. And now I have to find one more. One more. And he's in the new Suicide Squad movie.
He's going to be in Fast 9?
Yep. Let's see. I mean, he has a bunch. I've already lost. So
I don't know, man. Mallrats, like each one of us has multiple movies that by themselves get such huge amounts of love. Mm-hmm. Henry, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's a good one.
My horror followers might turn on me because of that alone.
All right. Man. So it's either I got to do it. You pick quick. So I'm going to go very uninspired and just do Cliffhanger.
That's cool, though.
Because he kind of becomes the hero of that movie. So,
that's cool, though. There's nothing wrong with that pick at all.
All right, so I'm taking that. So I have Portrait, Tombstone, JFK, Mallrats, Cliffhanger. You have Slither, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Belko, Days of Thunder, Undisputed. So what we do is we put these up on Movies, Films, and Flicks Facebook, and you can come vote on them. This one will probably have already been run, but we put up daily polls. We have tournaments. They're a lot of fun. So come check us out on Movies, Films, and Flicks Facebook for more of these cheeky polls. John, how worried were you for Cole Trickle when he, with a doctor in his car, with Nicole Kidman in his vehicle, he just goes bananas on a taxi driver?
Also more exciting than any race scene in the movie.
Yeah, that's, and then he's like, what are you mad about? Why? What's going on? Like, what did I do? Like, that is roid rage.
Oh yeah, a switch was flipped in his brain.
I mean, he put her in danger.
Right. No, that was homicidal too. The way he went after that guy You just saw his face too, right? He like squinted his eyes a little, lowered his chin and his head a little bit, and drove. And unresponsive to all of her pleas. That's the word. She was pleading to get out of the car, for him to stop and let her out of the car. She wasn't even saying stop. She wasn't even telling him what he was doing was wrong, which might have pissed him off more, right? She was just expressing her fear.
And he just kept going.
Dude, when they made that turn and hit that bump to go into the what was it, like the parking lot? The parking garage thing, like I was like that wheel would have launched off that car on both those cars. Like those were some serious like death race cars to have suspensions to survive that.
He has a temper. He also destroys another car that is going on a victory lap.
Yep.
I don't think NASCAR would let him back.
NASCAR, Portrait of a Killer.
Whoa.
Gold Trickle. The Gold Trickle store.
He's just riding around whapping people.
This is really just like the preface before he started murdering people.
What? He becomes Kurt Russell from Death Proof?
No, he becomes Michael Rooker from Portrait.
Oh, jeez Louise. Tom Cruise running around. Oh man.
But yeah, that was also like, it's funny that the most intense and elating scenes are these brief little interludes from the racetrack, or from away from the racetrack, I mean.
Yeah, I guess because the racing's fairly predictable. So he's like, go around him. And at the very end, you know that he's going to go inside.
Right.
Like there's no, it's not like that movie Southpaw where he's like, go Southpaw. And he had never gone Southpaw before in the movie Southpaw.
That so much.
It's like, hey, I've never seen this guy punch Southpaw, but he should
also,
go.
He's yelling it. He's like, it's not like it's a code. Like the other boxer is going to hear him basically yelling, start going lefty. It's not like it's some secret weapon.
So, like, yeah, that's
it's
interesting.
Not like an old kung fu movie where you read this ancient tome and now you know this move that is only combatable if someone else reads some ancient tome from some other high mountain elsewhere in the world, right? Like he just started going lefty.
Thought you were the other boxer? Oh, okay, cool.
He yelled it. That's like yelling, now do an uppercut. Oh, I don't know how he saw it coming. Now do a hook. Oh, how do you see that coming?
Yeah, uppercut. Like, oh, if I was the other boxer, I'd be like, okay, cool. This is great.
So when he did that rope-a-dope of, oh, you think I'm going on the outside, but oh no, I'm switching up. I'm going on the inside like everyone else does. Do you think that is where John C. Reilly learned the shake and bake?
Absolutely. I think that's why he was cast in Talladega Nights.
Right.
He got cast in that role for that.
This is just an earlier point in that same character's life.
Wow. How interesting was it seeing John C. Reilly look so young?
It's I'd totally forgotten that he was in this. So when I watched this again and I see him in there in one of the early scenes, right when we first see meet Tom Cruise, Cole Trickle, we see John C. Reilly. It's like, wait, what? And what's funny too is that when they introduce themselves, and I don't remember his name, but it's like Buck Bennington. I swear it's Buck something.
Buck
right?
Brotherton.
Cole. Okay, yeah. Hey, how's it going? I'm Cole Trickle. Hey, I'm Buck Brotherton. Did that not sound like Dirk Diggler meeting Chest Rockwell?
Yeah, it did.
That's all I could think of was Boogie Nights every time they introduced themselves to each other.
Do you think he had a lot of his scenes cut in this film? Because he's clearly a part of it, but he's
thoughtful. He's always thoughtful, too.
That scene on the bus where he's talking about his dad. But then Tom Cruise automatically knows the guy's last name. But he's pretty self-absorbed, so I don't think he was too worried about who Buck's dad was in the beginning. Well,
and he's building the car with Robert Duvall. I love that narration about what he was going to do, because it came shortly after the conversation of, well, a stock car is a stock car. It's stock. They're all the same. It's not going to be beat by another car. He's like, well, that's what the rule book says. And then you see him like getting into his thing, like him talking to that car frame in the barn. That was like Kurt Russell, like gripping the soil and the battle. Or no, I'm sorry, not Kurt Russell. I got total brain fart there. Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe. Squeeze, rubbing the dirt in his hands before battling Gladiator.
Oh, yeah.
Just absorbing what was in front of him. Like, I don't know. And that's what I don't know why I thought of that, because they're totally dissimilar movies and concepts, but the way he was just narrating the way this was going to go, first I'm going to do this. I'm going to take an inch off the front. That's going to give us 15 extra horsepower. You're going to glide. I'm going to, he's saying all these things. He's waxing poetic about the car that he hasn't even started to build yet. And John C. Reilly is there with him, right, to do this process. He didn't get one single line in while they were doing that.
And I guess the biggest speech he has is in the bus. And you know that lady that was in there with the bus? She was dating the producer. So Bruckheimer and Don Simpson, the power group that did Bad Boys and Top Gun and Beverly Hills Cop. She was dating the producer, but then they broke up and she married Tony Scott.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And that's why she's in this.
Well, just that one scene, because we never see her again, do we?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I just thought that was interesting. But no, I like having him in my notes. I wrote John. Let's see what I wrote. I wrote John C. Jawline because he's so young and trim in this movie.
Yeah,
I'm not used to that. No, but I dig it.
Yeah, he was usually a thoughtful character though. Even when he first meets him, it wasn't just like, hey man, what's up? Again, taking the redneck out of NASCAR, all that opening scene, by the way, everyone was speaking eloquently and thoughtfully without being hoity-toity, right? And nothing ridiculous. It was just a bunch of people. It was like being at a street corner on Wall Street talking about NASCAR. A bunch of sharp people who knew what they were talking about and had gathered well put together thoughts.
It's kind of amazing that they left the Confederate flags in there.
4 or 5 times we see it in the center of a frame flapping in the wind. That's so interesting.
And they wanted to get rid of the kind of, I hate saying the words, but they wanted to get rid of that stigma, and then they show it front and center in the beginning of the movie. All right, I guess moving on. What do you think about the scene where they get pulled over? And I guess, is that, who was that woman? Was she, I don't think Cole and her slept together.
Oh, I think they slept together.
Oh, okay. Cause they kind of left it at that scene where they were laughing. So does everyone just wait while they go on the bus and they hang out?
I don't think that they arranged to have a stripper and another person in a cop car. How they arranged the cop car in a cop car. They're already paying for all this, right? And they go through the trouble to have them pull them over and go through this whole act. I don't think that was for a 5-minute lap dance.
Got it.
And the other thing is that later when he mistakes his doctor, Nicole Kidman, for a similar case, he puts her hand right on his dick.
Yeah, he does.
It felt like a very 80s movie thing to do. That kind of feels crass, I think, if you put something like that in a movie today. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I was taken a little out of that, even though it was entertaining. It felt so 80s.
And I kind of like, so he does that to Nicole Kidman, this preeminent doctor, just this wonderful surgeon. And Robert Duvall comes up to her later, like, hey, I don't be thinking about Cole. He had won a race, so we got him. We got him this stripper and or prostitute and we had some fun with it. So he just thought you were too, but don't think bad of him.
Yeah, he even used the phrasing I told her to really, really go hard on him. Something like that.
And so that doesn't make Cole seem like the best guy.
It just forgives him for being an apparently accidental total douchebag.
But he was I guess they made sure to let you know that he was all drugged up too. They really went out of their way to not make him seem horrible in that situation, I guess.
Sure,
air quotes, horrible. But yeah, that's still a skeezy thing. But then that comes back to play later. And then he's trying to smooch her when she's checking up on him. I'm like, just let this lady go. You're scaring her in cars. You're driving like a maniac. I don't know what the allure was of him for her. 80s?
80s. The hair.
Yeah.
The fact that he was a child-sized man, maybe that's what she wanted.
And then... Oh, man. And then they went into Days of Thunder and Not to Die For.
Well, they did Far and Away and Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut, yeah. That's what it was.
In in the 2 following years? Or was Eyes Wide Shut wasn't that early.
Yeah, that was 99.
99. But Far and Away, that was 91 or 92. That was pretty much on the heels of this.
But then... I don't think that's her. I don't think she's ever been. I guess it was just the character. Her performance is just fine, but she's nothing more than a character there to help him get better.
Yeah. She comes off as a plot device that was acted as well as it could be for as little as it was given.
I guess we just got to go back to saying it was an '89 action picture.
Yeah.
But this
There
is,
it is.
I think you're right though. This is a weird tentpole of a summer